You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes up to 9 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show. Great to have you with us here on 702 on this beautiful Tuesday morning, the 4th day of November. I hope you're well this morning. The 702 open line starts now on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Did Brown Mogotsi survive an assassination attempt, or is he playing games? That's the question police are trying to figure out this morning. Last night, the vehicle he was traveling in was shot at multiple times, but he wasn't injured. And he didn't want to open a case with the police last night, which I think is a bit weird. He promised to go to the police station this morning, and the police officers are still waiting for him. In fact, I've just heard Atlenda Mati once again confirm on the SABC that they still are waiting for Brown Mogotsi to come and open a case with the police. What do you think is at play here? From what we know so far, this man is a chance taker. He has claimed so many things and lied to people. I mean, he's the type of person who will call and make all sorts of claims. From what we've heard so far, from the interviews that we've seen as well, that he has done in the media. So what we've seen is that he really can be an information peddler. And this is now the man that is claiming that there was an assassination attempt on his life. But this is a man that also is thrust in a very dangerous environment. I mean, it's possible that there are people that want him out. Or he just doesn't want to go to the Madlanga Commission because they've been asking him to come. He asked for an extension. They granted him that extension. I'm told that the commission spoke to him and his lawyers yesterday to try and finalize the dates and statements, etc. And apparently a conversation was had about his safety as well. And then boom, his car is riddled with bullets that same day. And I've been doing some digging to try and find out who this car belongs to, and it's owned by a certain company. Can't say yet which company that is. I still want to confirm a few things. But the point here is, this man has not been a credible character. But that doesn't mean that he's immune from the normal crime that you and I can experience. Any crime that can befall you and I. So what do you think is at play here, honestly? 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. Send your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. The 2026 Comrades Marathon entries are officially sold out. I know we have a running community here on 702. Can you believe that the entries are sold out already? Within 10 hours. I mean, general entries were opened yesterday morning following the initial 2,600 plus entries secured by Green Number Club and CMA members. So the remaining spots were completely scooped up in under 10 hours. And I wonder if you managed to enter for the Comrades Marathon yesterday before the entries were out. And I entered literally 6 minutes before the entries were sold out last night. And I have friends who didn't make it on time. Did you make it? And if you didn't enter, are you worried? Or do you think that perhaps there will be during substitution you can win there, or maybe they'll open another phase for entries? I'll have someone from the Comrades Marathon to give us a sense of what the plan is. And then I've got a question for you as well on the open line this morning. Do you think the parliamentary inquiry needs to hear from the other Deputy Minister of Police, Sheila Bushielo? Because she's going to take the hot seat today at that ad hoc committee in Parliament. Honestly, I think it's a waste of time. And I wonder what you think. And sure, the committee have powers to invite whoever they want to invite. But what really do you want to know from the second deputy minister? We're wasting time and resources here. We need to hear from key people. Call in the IDEC head, Andrea Johnson. Bring in Godfrey B, the former head of the Hawks, who dispatched a team to go to KT Molefe's house when he was being arrested. Bring in Brown Mogotsi. Bring in the Hawks head in KZN. There are many other implicated parties that can help shed light on the allegations that were made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Now you're going to hear from another deputy minister who's going to tell you what exactly that the other deputy minister has not told you. So, do you think we need to hear from this other deputy minister? I think it's a waste of time. Let me know what you think. At 10 o'clock, we're going to be in conversation with the Minister of Health, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. You may have seen that the Department of Health has unveiled some funding proposals to implement this long-awaited national health insurance. And there are some concerns that have been raised around this mix of redirected public funds, for instance, even the scrapping of medical tax credits, redirecting subsidies to civil servants for medical aid, and the introduction of payroll taxes. And there are issues that have been raised about the proposals to finance the NHI through this mix of redirected public funds. So I want the minister to explain that, but also we will have a conversation about other issues as well. That's between 10 and 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we're going to do our World of Work feature. Today we'll be discussing how to deal with grief when you are in the workplace, because you don't leave grief at home. It's part of your life. And as an adult, you take your grief everywhere you go, including into the workplace. And we live in a world that pushes productivity and performance, and many workplaces are not even equipped to deal with loss, whether it's the death of a loved one or the end of a relationship or any other major change, right? Grief in the workplace can show up in missed deadlines. Maybe you go to work and you've got glazed over eyes. You know, people experience unexpected outbursts from you. There's a sudden silence, you know, because that's what grief does, and people grieve differently. But how empowered are our workplaces to create an environment where you can do that and be able to grieve? At 11:30, we're going to do our health and wellness feature. Today, we're discussing this excitement that we're seeing about protein. It's suddenly become such a big wellness trend. So is it really worth the hype? I mean, if you've been on social media lately, you've probably noticed how everyone is talking about protein. It's in the shakes, it's in the cereal, it's in the snacks, even in coffee. So what used to be something for bodybuilders, you could argue, has now become part of everyday life. So we'll be talking about that on our health and wellness feature at 11:30. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Morning, Clement, on the 702 land. It's Tole from Sky City. Yeah, as Comrade Marathon, I had to pull there, and that's why I make sure that I enter. So yeah, I'm in for the next day. I'm going for my 5th one. So I wanted to make sure I was planning with maybe I will enter around the 15th. But seeing the entries, I enter when they say they posted that now 80% it's sold. So I have to pull there and there to make sure that I'm in. Yeah, it's all here. But yeah, runners are hungry for running. We are hungry for the streets. Have a good day. Thanks.
Yeah, especially because we couldn't even do the Cape Town Marathon. We're so hungry. So good on you, my brother, for making it. Did you not make it for the Comrades Marathon when you tried to enter the entries? Or maybe even finding out now that the entries are out. But I do think that they'll probably come up with a plan, maybe to reopen entries for, a small batch of people to register, or maybe during substitution. That's a chance that you'll have. I'll bring the Comrades guys before we wrap up the 702 open line this morning, just to get a sense of what's next from here. On YouTube, Vutu says, Clement Mogotsi thinks we are playing games here. Yeah, but is he playing games, or is he really telling the truth? I had a conversation with Atlenda Mati, who speaks on behalf of the SAPS, just before we went live now at 9 o'clock. Just to get a sense of what's happening. When did you know as the police that this man was shot at? And why hasn't he opened a case? Don't the police become your refuge? And what's really life-threatening about opening a case about people who try to shoot at you? He promised to come this morning to the police station to open that case with his lawyer. He's still not there. Listen to the conversation I had with Atlenda Mati, and then I'll go to your calls and WhatsApps. Atlenda, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
A very good morning to you and to your listeners.
The situation is a little confusing. Can you just explain to our listeners what happened to Brown Mogotsi and this vehicle that you've recovered as the SAPS?
Look, at around 10 o'clock last night, we received a call from an individual or from a private security around Foslora saying there was a shooting in the area. We responded, and when we got there, we found Mr. Brown Mogotsi there together with the individual of the private security, where he alleges that there was a white bakkie that was following him, and then he started shooting at him. So he couldn't explain the make of the bakkie, but then there were several shots fired at the car that he was traveling in, and we have seized the car. But before obviously seizing the car, we had to call in our forensic experts to work on the car to collect all physical evidence that will be able to assist us in this particular case, to solve this particular case. So we had our fingerprint experts, your ballistic experts on the ground, just to ensure that they gather all the evidence that will assist us to solve this case of attempted murder. So at that time, I'm told he refused to open a case, citing that he feared for his life. So he then promised that in the morning, this morning, he will make his way to the Foslora police station at 8 o'clock with his lawyer to open a case. So 8 o'clock has passed. We are still waiting for him to open a case, but we are already investigating a case.
Okay, hold on. He called the police, or the private security was with, called the police last night when the incident happened, and yet he doesn't want to open a case because he's fearing for his life?
Yes, it was the security official that told the acting station commander that there is a shooting, and that is what is concerning, to say, you called us, we responded, we are investigating, we have seized the vehicle, but yet you are not coming forward to open a case, citing that you are fearing for your life and so on. So, but we are waiting for him. We will be patient. We are here the whole day, and we are waiting for Mr. Brown Mogotsi to come and open a case. But nonetheless, whether he opens a case or not, we are continuing with our investigations.
Okay.
Crime intelligence is on the ground. We want to determine where this car was coming from, where it was going, who was actually inside the vehicle when that shooting happened. We've already determined who the car belongs to.
Who does it belong to?
That's for police investigation, and then we will obviously conduct further investigations.
Was he, and you don't know yet if he was alone in the car at the time of the shooting and whether he was injured or not?
So for now, we are told he was alone. I just spoke to the acting station commander. I'm also here, where they briefed me on actually what they found, and they say he was alone. He was alone at the time, and so he needs to then come to the Foslora police station and assist us. Was he okay? So, and we don't know if he was injured. He was not injured. Not even a single bullet hit him. How many bullets? No injuries. We're not sure for now. We're not sure, but there's more than, I think, 3. Okay. More than 3. Yeah. All right. Brigadier Atlenda Mati, spokesperson for the SAPS, thank you so much for chatting to us. Thank you.
702.
Call Clement
on 011
883
0702.
Yeah, it's quite a shaky story. The latest is that the police still can't get a hold of Brown Mogotsi. Atlenda Mati has just told the media now that Brown Mogotsi is not cooperating and they need him to make a statement. And the police are now saying that they will charge him if they find that this is staged. Because, I mean, there are resources here that were deployed. It's weird that someone experiences something so scary at night and refuses to open a case and then claims, I'll open it in the morning. He refused to open it last night because he says he claims that he's fearing for his life. Semi, you're calling us from Pretoria. Good morning.
Hi, Clement. Clement, you remember in 2017, Kenny Kunene's car was shot at 20 times. And then there was people saying, no, it's Kenny Kunene, this, that, and the other is connected to Jacob Zuma.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an independent investigator who came up and then he verified that the claim that the car was being shot at, that the story was true.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, as well, this guy's been shot at. I mean, what's the reason to doubt him? Because he's in trouble already. There's no way. They claim that to say his car being shot at is not going to get him out of trouble.
Well, it could buy him time.
I don't see why. I don't see why he. Yeah, so you can go on.
Sorry, Sammy. I was saying it could buy him time. So I've given a number of scenarios. Number one, I do think that you are right. It's possible that this may have happened. Nobody knows for sure at this stage. I think that just because he is a chance taker and is an information peddler, he's lied to people before, doesn't mean that he, is immune from experiencing crime like all of us. And in fact, the other scenario I demonstrated is that this guy is thrust in a very dangerous environment. There are people that probably don't want him to speak out at the Madlanga Commission, so they want to take him out now. That's possible. But what's also a possibility here is that this guy may just be staging it based on his erratic behavior, Semi. I mean, you listen to interviews he's done. 1 second. The interviews that he's done, you pick up from the WhatsApp messages that have been exposed between him and Ket Matlala, and why Ket Matlala ended up being so angry at him and Senzo Mkhune, and now has decided he wants to expose them, is because he lies a lot. And even the ANC politicians who know him in the Northwest have said, we know this guy, he's a chance taker. He likes taking chances and lying to people about things and lie about how connected he is. So there's a possibility as well that maybe he just wants to buy time. I mean, at the Madlanga Commission, they spoke to him and his lawyers yesterday. They've been trying to get him to come there. He asked for an extension. And I wonder now what he's going to say to them, because they're now, the Madlanga Commission are now saying, we're concerned about his safety. So what does that mean? Does this buy him more time? Does it mean he won't be able to come and testify as soon as he needs to, based on a date that's been agreed upon? Anything is possible.
Okay, let's just do this question. Hello?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
We're here, Semi. We can hear you.
Okay. Had this been a lady, Clement, would you still have felt the same?
With the same credentials and credibility, I would have said the same things. It's not about gender. It's about your character.
No, I just wanted to find out.
So you know what once happened.
Yes.
Were we supposed to talk about what Brown called about the other day? About the arrest? Sorry, I'm asking the producer, Semi, because something happened that I want to share with you guys. I don't think it's secret, right? Okay. Right? It's not secret, is it? It's not. Okay. The producer has given me the go-ahead. There was a time when we were live on air on this show. Brown Mogotsi, we've been trying to speak to this guy. I've never interviewed him before. I've never met him. I don't know him. But since he's been in the news, we've been trying to get a hold of him. But he has always said he's scared to come on my show. Now, one time I'm live on this radio, and he calls one of the producers of the show, and he tells he tells her that the National Police Commissioner is about to be arrested. On the day, I'm live on the radio. He calls. He says, I've got information. I'm sharing this with you. The National Police Commissioner is just about to be arrested. I mean, we didn't do anything about that because we've come to know what kind of character he is. So I'm giving you that sense, Semi, that's the kind of... Is the National Police Commissioner arrested now? No, he's not arrested. But that's a kind of person who will come and lie about certain things because he wants to divert attention or because he needs attention. He's very erratic. And that's why I'm saying, just open up your mind to any possibility here.
No, I hear you. Thanks.
Sure, Semi, in Pretoria. Thank you for your call.
Hey, good morning, Clement. What's up again? Ronald Matata Paya Mokasine, Mofoslo. And we need our police to be dealing with real issues. As far as I'm concerned, I've seen the news, I've seen the car, I've heard the story about what Mogotsi is saying. I'm really not convinced. And I think it's just a matter of time before it's proven for what it really is, the stand. But I'm just saying, no, we shouldn't be stretching our police to be investigating fake things more forcefully, more terrorism from forcefulness.
Yeah, but we don't know that it's fake yet, guys. We don't know for sure that it's fake. So I think we must have some grace to be open to possibilities. Anything is possible with this chap.
Good morning, Clement. Clement, that man, I'll tell you, is quarter to fake, he's dead. Soon we'll hear they say that man is dead. Thank you, Clement. This is so infamous.
I'm not trying to be insensitive here. This thing of Brown Mogotsi, man, this thing was cooked. These guys, if they want to assassinate you, they won't miss. They don't miss the target, this guy. So I smell a rat here.
Morning, Clement. Regarding Brown Mogotsi's assassination, my goodness, did you see the car he was driving? For a person who hangs around with shady characters, bribes, cops, and politicians to be driving a 80,000 Chevy Aveo or whatever it's called, I cannot believe it, Something is fishy here.
I mean, wait, who was telling me the other day that someone said to me that there's a certain person who drives like a Ferrari at night, but during the day they drive like an ordinary car. That's possible. I mean, and I don't know, maybe this was it a Chevrolet, ne? That car? Yeah, it's a Chevrolet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a car he uses for Uber, or maybe it is his car. Who knows? But I know that it's registered to a certain company. And he needs to go to the cops and explain what happened. Because part of what they must look at here is also like, who owns this car? Where was it coming from? Where was it going? And the cops now are saying he's nowhere to be found. And yet he promised to return to the police station this morning. Spiwe, you calling us from Joburg. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Clement?
Hey, Tada.
Sure. Hey, just want to make a comment with this, man. I think for me, it's just this Mogotsi is full of games, man. Who survives attempted murder and not run to the cops? If he's saying he doesn't trust the cops, who then does he trust to deal with this case?
Who?
Why is he invading the cops?
But he's got a reason not to trust the cops, doesn't he, Spiwe, seeing what is happening now in the SAPS, don't you think?
He's part of that, Mos. He's the friend with Minister of Police. How can he be the friend of Minister of Police and they not
his
trust the
friend
cops?
is now on special leave, so he's not even a minister yet. Yes, he's a minister, but he's on special leave, so maybe he just doesn't trust.
So for me and you, to have faith and trust in cops, we need to know someone who's still in power.
Unfortunately, that's the country we live in. And that's what has been exposed through the Madlanga Commission and the parliamentary inquiry. Spiwe, in Johannesburg, thank you for your call. Any of us, if there's a hit on you, you survive. How many bullets? 3 or 4? There's no blood in the car. I mean, he's clearly survived it. There's a security company, by the way, that apparently got there first before the police. And it's that security company that reported this shooting to the police. And we did try to get a hold of the security company because I want them to also give us their information. Who did they find on the scene? What happened? How was this guy? But the security company doesn't want to come on and speak to us. But I respect that.
702
WhatsApp Clement
on 072
702
1702.
33 minutes before 10 o'clock. I've just remembered now a conversation that Brown Mogotsi had. Was it on Newsroom Africa? Where he made a threat that what he's about to expose is going to be explosive. What did he say in Zulu? Gyokhala amadoda. Meaning men are going to cry when he exposes what he's going to expose. So just keep that in mind. Just as you think of the possibilities and, what could have happened here last night. Maybe there are people that don't want him to speak out, that want him out. Or maybe he's just playing games, because that's what he's done throughout his life, based on what we have seen so far and what we've heard even from the very same ANC comrades who know him. Let's go to your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Clement. Clement, that man, I'll tell you, is quarter to fake his dead. Soon we'll hear they say that man is dead. Thank you, Clement. This is so in Parame.
I'm not trying to be insensitive here. This thing of Brown Mogotsi, man, this thing was cooked. These guys, if they want to assassinate you, they won't miss. They don't miss the target. This guy. So I smell a rat here.
TJ, you calling us from Soshanguve. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Hi, Manyathela, how are you? I'm saying this is the highest rendition of an act that I had ever seen. I watched over the news, Clement. Have you ever watched the tires of that car that he was traveling in?
I saw the car.
They are worn out with, the tires. I mean, how could you travel in such a car knowing that your life is at risk? Because those tires would have just burst,
Exactly.
So I'm saying that man is an actor. He really needs an award.
The Oscar goes to... Yeah, guys, really, I just think anything is possible. I honestly, I'm not 100% convinced that he's acting, even though I know he is. I think he's got it in him to act like that. But I also think that this man probably knows a lot more. This man probably knows other senior ANC leaders who benefited from CAT and all these other guys that are accused of these terrible, terrible, terrible crimes. So, yeah, I'm on the fence here. I think anything is possible, but let's wait and see.
Morning, Clement, to your crew there, and morning to everyone else who's listening. Clement, not to rule out or to seem as if I rule out the possibility of an actual attempt on his life. Because, I mean, if really it is true, then we will be rendering our own selves insensitive. But, Clement, I also want to factor in another dimension, which is Brown perhaps trying to send a message to the top-notch guys, especially in the ANC, to say, or those against whom he's having an information to say, I'm here. Before this thing can come out in the public domain, let's talk, let's have a talk. Perhaps he's trying to do that. Even perhaps his reason to buy time to appear at the Madlanga Commission was motivated by that. Perhaps.
Morning, Clement. Last week, the police were in Northwest, in Brown Mogotsi's house or business. They needed the gadgets. Yesterday, Brown Mogotsi was in a police station. Why didn't he hand over these gadgets? This is a very funny story.
Morning, Clement. Hope you're well. Clement, I don't know. Are you telling me out of every single thing that has been said and everything that Brown himself has said about his doings, there is absolutely nothing that he could be arrested for? Absolutely nothing that he could be arrested for. That man should be behind bars in the protection of the SAPS. Thank you, Max from the West.
Yeah, Max, politicians have found a way to steal. And they've become smarter and smarter about it. In fact, and I'm talking about politicians who are thieves, right? any criminal, has found a way to be better criminals. So you have got to evolve and you've got to adapt. And I think the latest version, in fact, I would argue that it's been used for a while now. It's not even as latest as I argue for it to be. But normally politicians will always they used to find their family members before. Yeah? So politicians used to make sure that they've got, either their relative or their siblings or to start a company. That's how they steal from government. That's where the kickbacks are going to go to. But that's very easy to track when you follow the money. So they found a new modus operandi over the last probably 10 years or so, you could argue. I'm not sure about the periods, but what you then begin to pick up is they now will go and find just a random person that you wouldn't ordinarily and easily associate with them. And that's a person that they are going to use to launder money from the state. Remember with digital vibes, when the health minister, Clement Manyathela, was still Minister of Health, and his advisor was involved in digital vibes. Do you remember how they used to clean the money and make sure that it gets to the beneficiaries? They found a grocery store in Pietermaritzburg. So monies used to be sent to the grocery store, and then the grocery store, I think, used to then withdraw the money and give it in cash, and it used to be collected by certain people. Those people you would never make a connection to, who is the health minister at the time, is he benefiting or not? But the minute you start following the money, which Daily Maverick did so well, they followed the money so well, and you can see how it flows until it gets to the beneficiary. So that's how politicians have come to do it now. They get they call them runners sometimes. These are people who are going to facilitate the deals. They'll get the business people. They'll have the relationship with the business people. But when as a politician, your hands are clean. So that should the police come and say, hey, something is fishy here. As an official, you say, I know nothing. The same way that Zwelim Kize claimed, I know nothing. Even though it's very clear what benefits got to him and his family through his advisor. That's how they do it. So you're saying with Brown Mogotsi, is there anything that he can be arrested for? What do you arrest him for? Because so far, what has been revealed is that, yeah, sure, he spoke to these guys, Clement Manyathela. Yes, he facilitated funds here and there. He asked for monies. He promised certain things. But is it criminal to promise a meeting between a businessman, whether tainted or not, and a police minister? What the police will have to investigate is whether there have been proceeds of crime that have flowed into any accounts that is associated with. Remember, Clement Manyathela has apparently paid monies into a certain businesswoman in the Northwest, and that businesswoman is then linked to Brown Mogotsi. So they have found ways, these guys, to steal, and it's just shocking how they go about it. I'm telling you. It's 14 minutes now before 10 o'clock.
702.
WhatsApp Clement
on 072
702
1702.
So a number of people are concerned about what's happening next year with the Comrades Marathon, because the 2026 Comrades Marathon entries are officially sold out. I mean, can you believe it? And there are a few people that didn't make it on time, but there are others that managed to make it on time. And so many people are concerned about whether or not they're going to be able to run next year. So I've invited Alan Dallas, who is the general manager at Comrades Marathon, just to chat to us about what we can expect next. Alan, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning to you and to all your listeners. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations, because this is quite historic. In less than 10 hours, you've got the 2026 Comrades entries completely wiped out. I managed to enter about 6 minutes before the announcement was made that the entries are out. So I'm so glad that I was able to do it at that time. But I know of many other people who couldn't enter. what happens next then? Will you be opening another phase of entries?
Yes, so look, that was, we knew the demand is going to be high for the 2026 edition of the Comrades Marathon, although we didn't anticipate it to sell out this fast. This is an historical moment for the Comrades Marathon. We've never sold entries this fast. But there is one more opportunity for runners that have missed this window, and that is during our substitution process, which takes place in March and April next year.
Mm-hmm.
So runners need to keep a careful eye on our social media platforms from around the end of February going into early March, because any runners that have entered now and that will either not qualify or injured or for whatever other reason will not be participating next year, but they do have an entry. Those runners between the 16th to the 30th of March will put their entries up for substitution. And then the runners that didn't get an entry and would still like to run, their opportunity to snatch up one of those available substitution entries. That period runs from the 1st of April to the 15th of April 2026.
Okay.
So they have in that window, but again, they have to act fast. If I look at what happened for the 2025 Comrades Marathon during the substitution window, I think we had just over 1,000 entries, and they were snapped up within the first day or two as well.
Yeah.
So we ask runners to be ready to go, ready to pay, and from 1st of April when that window opens.
Yeah. How many entries are you sitting on now?
22,000.
22,000. Why is this? Yeah. Is the 2026 Comrade so popular and in demand?
So look, the Comrades Marathon as a brand is extremely popular. It always has been, and I think post the COVID pandemic, road running really has taken off and become even more popular. You see it with a lot of the 10-kilometer events around the country and even some of the marathons as well, how popular they are with the running community. But the Comrades Marathon is always looked at as that pinnacle event or that bucket list event that runners want to tick off. So that's the one aspect. Of course, our marketing initiatives and all our social media posts, etc., also that creates a bit of a hype as well. And then when the running community starts sharing that also helps to fuel spreading the news as well. But then the other thing that is in the background at the moment, which is hovering and exciting for runners that's coming up, is the 100th running of the Comrades Marathon in 2027. Correct.
Yeah.
So runners, if I use novices as an example, if they've now secured an entry for the 2026 Comrades Marathon, will be their first Comrades. And how special would it be to get your back-to-back medal in the 100th or centenary race in 2027? The same goes for runners that are, going for their green number. If they've done 9 or 19, they're going for their double green, etc. Those runners also potentially then can be getting that. Yeah. So there's lots of various milestones, etc., that runners want to achieve.
Thank you. Alan Dallas, thank you so much for making time for us. He's the general manager at Comrades Marathon. Congratulations once again. 22,000 runners. The entries were sold out, guys, in less than 10 hours. So if you missed that opportunity, keep your eye out on substitution. It's going to be happening from the 16th to the 30th of March next year.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
7 minutes before 10 o'clock.
Clem, Brown Mogotsi, is it not possible for the commission to subpoena the guy? That way you're not giving him any more time. You're not giving him a chance to buy time or whatever it is that he's alleged to be doing. Get this testimony over and done with as soon as possible so that we can hear what he's got to say and then come on. Thank you. Fezi, Albertine.
Clement, good morning. On your question about the Deputy Minister, another Deputy Minister appearing before the committee in Parliament, I think it's still necessary just for us and for them to show how incompetent that entire ministry has been. I mean, last week we learned that Deputy Minister Clement had not signed a performance agreement, and I can almost bet you that this minister is also going to say that she did not sign a performance agreement. So let them come just to show how incompetent that whole ministry is. On your question about Brown Mogotsi, I think that guy is just taking chances. I think he's losing. Mzagaza used to have a song saying he's losing. Brown Mogotsi is losing. Greg in Klerksdorp.
Yeah, Clement. Greg, I think, I honestly think it's a waste of time bringing in the other deputy minister. I think if really they were trying to push for us to hear from a deputy minister, one was sufficient. Now you're bringing in another one who's going to tell us probably the same thing. And remember, there's a target that the there's a deadline, that's what I mean to say. There's a deadline that the parliamentary inquiry is working under. And by the time that they reach that deadline, would they have spoken to all the significant figures in this story? That's what I'm worried about. And I just hope that they can concentrate more on people that are going to bring about value, and they're going to help us understand and uncover the truth in as far as the allegations that have been made, get to the bottom of that. Otherwise, we're wasting time hearing from deputy ministers who are telling you about the constitution that you already know as members of parliament. And they're telling you about what they knew, what they didn't know. No, we've heard from Senzo Mkhunu. He told us what he's done, right? If you heard from the first deputy minister, why do you need another one? We need to hear from their key people. IDEC head is only coming in when? I think on Wednesday. That's the IDEC head, or on Thursday. Those are the people we need to hear from, because there are serious claims that have been made against them, and they've got to come and defend themselves or set the record straight. And maybe I'm wrong, but let's talk tomorrow on the open line. If today you hear anything so significant and groundbreaking that you didn't know about from this deputy minister, I'd like to hear about it. Otherwise, I really think it's a waste of time.
You know, the Brown Mogotsi incident happened last night about less than 300 meters from where I live. And it was witnessed by these night guards who actually related the story this morning to us around 5:30 as we were walking towards the bus stop. That the man was shaky, that the car was shot more than 5 bullets. And he was very shaky, even peed on himself. Like, I'm talking a story that was related to me by a guy who witnessed the whole thing in Phosphorus Extension 25.
Good morning, Mr. Manyathela. Hamilton here in Springs. I think the ANC guys wants to silence Mogotsi because Mogotsi has a lot to offer. Since he mentioned that Uzokhala Madoda, so now they're trying to silence him. I think they missed, or whoever they sent is an amateur, he missed. I don't think that Brown Mogotsi staged this, but let's wait and see. We can't wait for him to come and testify at the Matlanga Commission. Hamilton here in Springs, last town.
If you still remember that three police they were here for Limpopo for N1, Baba Twala accident in Centuria. There's no any accident around here. Actually, there was no any tow truck. You can sort this accident. If you remember, even today, I'm going to tell you, this Brown Mogotsi play games. There's no, if the guy was involved with the money, the ANC member, they can drive that car. That car is worth 20,000, 25,000. Even me, I can buy with my salary.